Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel on the college process. Once again, I'm Ed from Principia Prep, and today we're going to be going over what is financial aid. But before we begin, if you're new to the process and are looking for additional college content, please hit the subscription button down below. It will notify you when new videos do come out, as well as for students going off to college and for families watching today. We still do and are still running the James Russell Memorial Scholarship, our scholarship program here at Principia Prep, where we give out thousands and thousands of dollars of scholarship money to students going off to college every year. If you want more information about the James Russell Memorial Scholarship, down below in the description is the link for the video explaining how our scholarship program works here at Principia. As well as also in the description is our organization's Venmo, as well as our Buy Us a Coffee, if you want to help us support the channel, allowing us to keep making these videos for you guys out there. All that being said, let's jump right into today's video. What is financial aid? Now, when it comes to financial aid, the first thing I always tell families is you need to think about the term financial aid differently. And what I mean by that is many families, when they hear the term financial aid, many students, when they hear the term financial aid, they think free money. That is not what financial aid, the term actually means. What the term actually means is free money, as well as work programs and money that must be paid back in the form of loans. So the first thing you have to kind of think about and understand is when I say financial aid on this channel, when I'm talking to a family about financial aid, you need to think about the way I'm discussing, the way I'm saying financial aid from an institutional point of view. As many of you already know, I've worked at multiple colleges for many, many years in many different capacities. So when I'm talking to you guys about the term financial aid, you have to think about it the same way I do, from the institutional point of view. And when an institutional person, admissions, financial aid, anyone from the college says to you, starts talking about financial aid, when they say financial aid, they are talking about these four topics right here. In the world of college, on the institutional side, when we say the term financial aid, we mean scholarships, grants, loans, and a work program. Because when many families talk about and think about the word and term financial aid, they think just the free money. Now, I'm going to talk about all four of these categories here and break them down to further detail. But first, let me talk about why you're even offered financial aid. Because there's two reasons you guys will be offered financial aid of any kind. The first reason is because you guys filled out financial aid forms. Now, when you fill out the financial aid forms, like the FAFSA form, the FAFSA form is required by all students to be considered for any financial aid consideration. So right at the top, the FAFSA form is the first thing you do to even be considered for financial aid. Now, the FAFSA form itself becomes available in October. Typically, October 1st is when the form becomes available. So if you're a senior in high school, the first time you fill out the FAFSA form would be starting October 1st and going forward. Now, typically you want to get the FAFSA form in within the first 3 or 4 months of the form being out to give yourself the best shot of getting the most financial aid available for your case, your situation. Now, when it comes to the FAFSA form, you'll be doing this form every academic year. So if you're doing it senior year of high school, freshman year of college, you do it again, sophomore year of college, you do it again, and junior year of college, you do it once more to basically get that form out there and get it ready for the next academic year. Now, if you're going for grad school, you can also do the FAFSA form from grad school as well. Now, the FAFSA form will require student and parent information for both income and assets. So you have to do the FAFSA by utilizing the parent and student tax information. That being said, some schools, some colleges, some states also have their own state form to be considered for in-state financial aid consideration. Here in New Jersey, we do have programs where the state of New Jersey will provide aid, in some cases free money, grant money, if you stay in-state, if you were graduating from a state school, state high school here in New Jersey. There are many other states that do the same thing. Pennsylvania, New York, California, so on and so forth, Florida, and some of these states also have additional paperwork. Specifically, states like New York and California do have additional state form paperwork. In many cases, they want you to fill out for their state aid. So you have the FAFSA form for everyone. State forms for some states, depending if you're a resident of that state and you're staying in that state. In addition to that, you also have what's known as institutional forms. Some colleges out there will ask you to do additional forms to the federal, in some cases, the state forms, the FAFSA form and the state forms. They're called institutional forms. These institutional forms are forms for financial aid consideration of that college only. So that means you're filling out forms just for them, nobody else. In addition to those three guys, you also have a fourth possible situation here of additional forms through the form called the CSS profile form. Now, the CSS profile form is an additional form typically required by higher end Ivy League types colleges, more difficult schools to get into. Typically, the more high-end schools will ask for you to fill out both the FAFSA form and the CSS profile, in addition to, in some cases, institutional forms. So obviously, to figure out if I'm looking to get financial aid from any of the colleges I'm looking to apply to or looking to go to, one of the first things I'm asking the admissions or financial aid office is, what financial aid forms do you require if I were to apply to this college if I'm looking to get financial aid. So ahead of time, you have a pretty good idea of what forms will need to be filled out for each individual college you're looking to apply to. Now, all these financial aid forms, whichever ones you need to fill out, these are helped to get you what's typically known as financial need financial aid. Now, when it comes to financial need, this is why you're filling out these forms, there has to be space available for the school to offer you any type of financial aid assistance. And let me explain what I mean by space available. Let's say the college's cost of attendance, which is basically what the college's total cost is for the year, is $40,000. Now, let's say you filled out all the financial aid forms, and the financial aid forms came back and said, your ability to pay, your student aid index number, is $20,000. That means the college costs $40,000. You subtract out the $20,000 you're able to pay. You're left with a $20,000 financial need. That financial need should be helped out by the college in grants, scholarships, loans, or work program. In this case here, you're eligible for, and you have space available for that school to give you financial aid assistance of some kind. Now let's look at the second reason you guys get financial aid, which is known as merit-based aid, or in some cases, scholarship money, essentially. Now, when it comes to scholarship money given to you by the college, your financial consideration is not part of the equation whatsoever for this part. For the second part of getting financial aid, all that really matters is classes taken, grades, in some cases, test scores. These are the three factors in most cases where many of you guys will be offered scholarship money to attend that college. Now, if you're getting merit-based aid, scholarship money essentially, it doesn't matter if the parents are making no income, high income, middle income, none of those things typically come into play here. It's just the student's academic profile, which will determine if you're getting scholarship money or not. So now that we have the two reasons out of the way of why you are offered financial aid, let's talk about the four different categories here that make up financial aid and how it works. Right from the beginning, grant money. Now, when it comes to grant money can come from the federal government in the form of Pell Grants or FSEOG grants, Supplemental Education Opportunity Grants. So there's multiple different grants you can get from the federal government just by filling out the FAFSA form if you're showing financial need. Now, the other side of financial aid is scholarship money. Now, when it comes to scholarship money, most scholarships do not require the financial aid forms to come in. They're more merit-based situations, typically high GPA, typically high SAT score, or some combination of that. When it comes to scholarship money, this is also free money. So the grant money and the scholarship money, both free money, you don't have to pay back either one of these two items here. Now, when it comes to scholarship money, you typically have a GPA requirement throughout the 4 years of college. So if they offer you an academic scholarship, that scholarship is typically guaranteed for 4 years. Now, before you attend the college, on your award letter, the letter they send you showing you how much scholarship money you're being offered to go there, they will tell you the specific GPA requirements, but typically it requires for most scholarships a 3.0 GPA out of a 4 scale and you attending classes full time. For grants, typically whether you're getting federal grant money, the federal Pell Grant, or state grant money, or the school itself's giving you grant money, the typical GPA requirement is a 2.0, which is a federal guideline number. 2.0 or above, and they'll keep giving you that grant money. But if you fall below a 2.0, you'll lose all free money. Grants and scholarships will both be gone if the student's GPA falls below that 2.0 GPA requirement across the board. And let's talk about the other two categories here. When it comes to loans, you might be wondering, well, loans aren't really financial aid. But in the eyes of the college, in the world of financial aid, they are considered financial aid from the perspective that it's helping you pay for college. Now, many of you guys out there will be offered federal direct loans for freshman year of $3,500 subsidized, $2,000 unsubsidized, for a total of $5,500. For sophomore year, you'll get $6,500. Junior and senior year, you'll be offered $7,500. These loans here are basically offered to you based on the fact you guys fill out the FAFSA form. Just filling out the FAFSA form, the schools can then offer you these loans to help you with the financial aid process of helping to pay for college. I do understand some families don't look at loans as being financial aid, but it's just the way it works. Financial aid is all four of these categories here. And the last category here is the work study programs. When it comes to work study, basically what happens is you guys fill out the FAFSA form, the student has financial need, and the school then offers you a work program at the institution you're going to, or the ability to work for a nonprofit off campus, but still paying you through basically the university. The way work study works is very simple. It's basically the easiest job you'll ever have. I've had students at the different colleges I've worked at work 1 or 2 hours every other week during work study. Some work 5, 6, 7 hours a week during work study. You get to choose your hours. The benefit is you also get to choose your job in many cases, because you can go to department, each one, and ask them, are you looking for work study? And most departments would like to hire you if you have work study because it's not coming out of their budget. What happens is the way work-study works is the government gives a school a bunch of money and says employ your students. So basically you're working for that department technically for free because the government's paying your wages. That's why different departments like having work-study students and hire many of them to hire them, even if they don't need them, to be honest with you, because it's free labor, let's call it, in their eye. Now when it comes to financial aid, once again, it comes together with all four of these guys. Grants, scholarships, loans, and work-study all make up financial aid. So once again, when you're talking to a college or thinking about financial aid, you must remember financial aid is both free money, grants and scholarships, and also money you must pay back or work towards loans and also work programs. Other than that, if you enjoyed today's video, please leave us a like, please leave us a comment. It does let us know that we are helping you guys out there.